Section 6. This stuff here is really nothing new concept-wise. It just strings two problems together kind of back to back. At least the first half. The simple interest part in the notes we may end up skipping. I'll get to that later. But the percent change stuff is the exact same as you've been doing, but it's two problems in a row, sandwiched in each problem. So the hints then, do the problem in two steps. So in 2 steps. And I would highly recommend you set them up something like this. So the problems you've been doing so far, you have like one number. Okay, so you're starting with this number here. Then there's some percent change to get this number here. And then when you went through and did the problem, you did like percent times the original equals the new. And what happens is this number that you start with before, that goes in for the original. And then we have like some percent, so it's either up a percent or down a percent. But the new number is going to be that number right there. So that's kind of what we've been doing so far. Like I said, you do the problem twice. So once you're done with that, then you start doing it another time. So you have another number over here, and you're going to have another percent change. And sometimes you're trying to find that percent. And then you do this equation again, percent times the original equals the new. But now what was your new before, this thing here is your original. Or in other words, that new from the first time around becomes that starting number, the original. And then the new is that last number. So that's probably a little bit confusing. Let's go through to a couple examples. I think it'll work out. But please, please, please set them up like that, at least at the beginning. So I'm going to do my 3 blanks. And I'm going to do my little arrows for the percentage things. Encourage you to do the exact same. So we have a $300 plane ticket, has a 15% discount in price, but you have to pay 15% more for luggage. What's your final cost? All right, so the very first one is going to be the $300. That's $300. And our first percent change is a 15% discount. So in other words then, we're going to say it's going down by 15%. And that is going to give us this middle number here. But then we have another percent change. We need to pay 15% more. So after that, we're going to go up by 15% to get our final cost. Okay, so we do one equation here to get this number. Let's do that first. So I'll set it up like I did before with the red. So percent times the original equals the new. And if I have 15% decrease, well, that's like that last section, so I need to do 100%, take off my 15%. So really, we're just paying 85% of the cost. So I'm going to put that in right here as though it's 0.85 times my original times 300. And now that'll give me that new cost. I just punched it in a calculator, and that is $255. So this middle number after my discount is $255. Now I do the start of my second problem. So I write out my equation again, percent times the original equals the new. And now it's kind of like you can take and cover up this whole side of the problem, and you're just looking at this second part. And I don't know if I'd actually scribble it out if I were you, but this 255 now is my new original. So I'm starting at $255. If I'm going up by this 15%, this right here, well, that's going to be this right here. So to do that, because it's 15% increase, I do 100% plus my 15%. I'm really trying to figure out what's 115% of that 255. So when I take my 115% and put it in, I have to move that decimal point 2 places. So I have a 1.15 times 255. Punch that in my calculator. So final price ends up being $293.25. So there's the final answer. Or if you wanted to, you could even put it in the blank here, $293.25. So it's really just doing 2 problems back to back. All right, I want to do another one where we're actually solving then for one of those percents in the top. And if you're lost on these, ask for help in class. Please, please, please ask for help in class. So I'm going to start setting it up the same way as I did before. So I have my three numbers, then I'm going to have my percents, my percent change here and here. The cost of a flower pot increases by 13%. So that's going to be my first percent change. So I'm going to put a little up, 13%. And when it does that, it's going to grow to, so the cost of a flower pot increases by 13% to grow to or to become $72.32. So which blank do we put it in? Well, if it increases to get to this number, then the 72.32 has to go in that middle blank. So then, let's keep going. So now what percent decrease would return it to the original cost? So it feels like we have too many unknowns because we're trying to, okay, so I could maybe put an X here. So we're trying to figure out what's my X percent. So it's going down by what percent? So that's what I'm trying to find. So to do that, the hint or the key of figuring this out is it's saying that this cost here after it goes back down has to be the same as the original cost. So in order to know what to put here, I need to calculate what was here. And I'll do that with this first equation. So I'm going to say percent times the original equals the new. And I'm just doing this side here of the problem. I'm not doing that left side. Now I need to go back and try to erase that. But hopefully you see that really you're just sticking with that left side of the problem. So get rid of that. Get rid of this line here. Okay, so if we put in our numbers, the $72.32, that is going to go in for the new, because that's after my percent change, so $72.32. And when I go up by 13%, because it's a percent increase, that's 100% plus my 13% gives me 113%. But if I'm going to take and put that into my percent problem, I have